Stand at the edge of your balcony and look down at the city. Can you feel that sudden, sickening tilt in your inner ear? The vestibular vertigo of realizing that after climbing for 10 years, the ground beneath you hasn't moved an inch? Why is it that the $15,000 smart home neural link you installed last month now feels as mundane as a rusted door hinge? Do you feel the gravity of your dwindling, saving money, reserves pulling at your chest? Or have you become so accustomed to the free fall of consumption that you've forgotten what it feels like to stand on solid ground? I am Philly. I am a mental surgeon, and I am here because your prefrontal cortex is being cannibalized by a toxic hedonic treadmill that feeds on your future while you sleep. You didn't click this for frugality hacks. You clicked because you are starving in a palace of your own making. By the end of this session, you will either perform a total rich mindset reconstruction or admit you are a biological battery powering a machine that hates you. Scrub in. We are opening up the skull of the 2026 consumer. To survive this surgery, you must understand the surgical psychology of money. We are exposing the stolen wealth secrets of the 0.1% who have escaped aggressive hedonic adaptation. If you want to achieve tactical mindful spending and break the fragile consumer psychology cycle, do not look away from the blade. What is hedonic adaptation? It is the biological tragedy where your brain resets your happiness set point back to zero, regardless of how many wins you stack. In the psychology of money, this is known as the success paradox. You win the promotion, you buy the level 5 bio-optimized meal plan, and for 72 hours, you feel strong. But by day 4, your synapses have already adjusted. The dopamine receptors in your nucleus accumbens have down-regulated. The peak is gone, but the $3,500 monthly bill remains. You are running faster, but the scenery never changes. Look at your executive wellness subscription. You're paying $2,800 a month for a personalized longevity protocol, synthetic nutrients, AI-monitored sleep chambers, and blood oxygen optimization. You tell yourself it's an investment in your human capital. But look at the data. You're just as stressed, just as tired, and now you're $33,000 a year poorer. You aren't hacking your biology. You're just paying a premium to feel like you're in control while your saving money velocity hits zero. Think of your brain as a desert traveler. Every upgrade is a mirage. You run toward the shimmering water of a new lifestyle, but as soon as you reach it, it turns to sand. This is the neural bribe. Your brain is an efficiency machine. It doesn't want you too happy because a happy animal is a dead animal. It needs you hungry. The consumer psychology of 2026 has turned this evolutionary hunger into a subscription service. They have digitized your primal need for more and sold it back to you with a sleek UI. That $2,800 optimization fee, if you redirected that into a diversified wealth equity fund at 8% return, it yields $1.6 million over 20 years. You didn't buy longevity. You traded 8 years of your life's total freedom for a collection of supplements and a smart ring that tells you what you already know, that you're exhausted from working to pay for the ring. Is the data worth 8 years of your soul? There is a way to lock the baseline, a method called neural resetting that I will reveal soon. But first, we have to address the social credit arms race that is currently draining your executive function. It is 2026. Your social circle isn't just people, it's a peer indexing algorithm. You spend $6,000 on a curated mastermind retreat because your feed convinced you that if you aren't in the room, you aren't in the game. You're paying for a seat at a table where everyone is desperately trying to out-signal each other. You bought a $4,000 limited edition digital avatar skin just to avoid looking standard in the virtual boardroom. You are a hacked victim paying a conformity tax to a tribe that will replace you the moment your credit score dips. This is the status obesity epidemic. Your brain is hardwired to fear exile more than death. The psychology of money has been weaponized into a digital panopticon. You are spending your saving money reserves to maintain a reputation that is hosted on a server you don't own. You are building a skyscraper on rented land. Every status upgrade is just another chain link in your fragile wealth secrets prison. You aren't networking. You are auditioning for a role you can no longer afford to play. The average professional today pays a social index tax of roughly 30% of their net surplus. Over a decade, that is $550,000. That is a debt-free home. That is the ability to walk away from any job, any boss, and any crisis. You are trading a literal sanctuary for a temporary badge of success on a platform that will be obsolete in 3 years. You are a king of a kingdom made of air. I will show you how to perform a status decoupling in the final act, but the operating room is getting cold. I need to show you the $75,000 identity loss that almost destroyed Philly. 2 years ago, I fell for the ultimate stolen wealth secrets trap. I was making more than ever, and my rich mindset felt invincible. I bought a fractional ownership in a synthetic island community, a high-end biosecured retreat for neural architects. I paid $75,000 for the access key. I remember the tactile feel of the cold, black glass card they sent me. I stood on that synthetic beach, the wind smelling of artificial sea salt, and I waited for the arrival, the moment where I would finally feel successful. It took exactly 48 minutes for the magic to evaporate. I realized I was just in a high-priced sandbox with 50 other anxious surgeons. The $75,000 didn't buy me peace. It bought me a new set of comparisons. I found myself looking at the founder-tier owners and feeling poor. I was a success on the brochure and a failure in my own skull. I had to take on 20 extra high-stress neural surgeries just to replenish the capital I had set on fire. Have you ever felt that? The post-purchase hollow? The moment the box is open, the upgrade is done, and you realize you brought the same anxious person into a slightly nicer room? Tell me in the comments, what was the synthetic island you bought? What was the price of your temporary delusion? I tell you this because I had to perform an egoectomy on myself to survive. I realized that wealth is not the ability to buy the island. It's the ability to not need it. Stop. Look at your phone. Those red notification dots aren't alerts. They are dopamine harvesters. The economy of 2026 is no longer about selling goods. It is about dopamine arbitrage. The system waits for you to feel a microsecond of boredom or insecurity, and it presents an easy upgrade to fix it. You are a biological machine being operated by a $1 trillion AI that knows your psychology of money better than you do. You think you are failing at saving money? No, you are a hacked victim. The entire infrastructure of 2026, from frictionless biometric payments to one-tap luxury deliveries, is designed to bypass your prefrontal cortex. They have turned your willpower into a commodity. They want you on the hedonic treadmill because a content person is a person who doesn't spend. They need you in a perpetual state of identity hunger. They have weaponized your evolutionary inheritance against your bank account. But there is a way to go dark. To survive the hedonic treadmill, you don't need budgeting. You need a structural rebellion. This is the part where we stop the bleeding and start the reconstruction. If you ignore this, the next identity validation cycle will execute you. 1. The 90-day dopamine fast, the neural reset. When you experience an upgrade, a new office, a high-tier client, or a salary jump, you must implement a 90-day consumptive freeze. No new non-essential assets for 3 months. You are forcing your brain to stabilize its happiness baseline without the aid of new chemical spikes. You are training your neural circuitry to realize that the environment doesn't provide the value. Your rich mindset does. This is the only way to stop aggressive hedonic adaptation. 2. The sensory friction protocol. In 2026, the economy is frictionless. To fight back, you must create tactile resistance. For every luxury purchase over $300, you are forbidden from using digital currency. You must withdraw physical paper cash. Feel the cold, paper-dry weight of the bills leaving your hand. Watch the physical pile dwindle. Digital numbers are abstract. Paper loss is visceral. This is tactical mindful spending in its most brutal biological form. 3. The Tier 3 Happiness Decay Test. Before any major lifestyle upgrade, perform the decay test. Ask, will the joy of this object exist in 48 hours, 30 days, and 6 months? Tier 1, 48 hours, is a dopamine spike. Tier 2, 30 days, is hedonic habituation. Tier 3, 6 months, is the only place real value lives. If the projected joy doesn't survive Tier 3, the purchase is a parasite. Redirect that capital into wealth equity immediately. You are trading a temporary neural bribe for permanent financial freedom. 4. Status decoupling. Intentionally downgrade one visible aspect of your life. Drive a vehicle 2 tiers below your income. Use a smartphone with a cracked screen protector. Become financially invisible. When you decouple your identity from your objects, the conformity tax disappears. You aren't building a palace of straw. You are building a liquidity moat that the system cannot see, track, or tax. This is the path to a resilient, rich mindset. By dissecting the toxic psychology of money, you stop chasing illusions and start building unshakable wealth. Master the hedonic treadmill now, or remain fuel for the 2026 machine. Fix your aggressive saving money errors and master tactical mindful spending before you are permanently out-engineered. Use these wealth secrets to build a fortress that no algorithm can breach. The hemorrhage is stitched. You have the neural firewall and the status decoupling protocol. You are no longer the prey. But remember, the treadmill is only one way the system harvests you. In my previous deep dive on the psychology of losing money in 2026, we analyzed how the subscription cascade and primitive loss aversion secretly liquidate your future while you sleep. If you haven't mastered those leaks, today's surgery won't hold. Don't get comfortable. We've managed your spending. But a silent assassin lurks in the 2026 bio-digital loop. It doesn't care about your savings. It targets your ability to perceive value. It's called cognitive inflation. The reason $1 million can still feel like starvation. The surgery on your wealth is done. The surgery on your desire begins in 60 seconds. If you haven't mastered the psychology of losing money yet, your firewall is already compromised. Stay in the theater. The next incision is the deepest.